Hey, hey. Welcome everybody to Miss Glow's Kitchen, where there's sugar, spice, and everything nice, where we slice, dice, and entice, using everything we can, from peppers to allspice. What's up, my people? Y'all know what time it is? See y'all in the kitchen. A Neapolitan pound cake is on our menu today. So I'm not going to go in any particular order. Here's what we need to make it. We need 4 cups of sifted flour. We need 3 1/4 cups of white sugar, 1 1/4 cups of milk, 6 large eggs, vanilla extract, 4 sticks of butter, not margarine. Make sure it's butter. We need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, imitation butter flavoring. We need strawberry extract or strawberry flavoring, and we need cocoa powder for the chocolate cake. All right, y'all know what I always say. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's get to it. First thing we want to do, we want to cream our butter and sugar. So that 3 1/4 cups of sugar and all 4 sticks of butter go into a bowl. Now if you got a stand mixer, which I do now, you can use that. But if you got a hand mixer, then you're going to have to mix this for a while, at least until it's light and fluffy like you see in that bowl. Now all the granules of sugar will not go away, so don't expect them to. Alright, so after you cream that butter and sugar, you see we're going to start putting these eggs in one at a time. One at a time. Take your time. Yes, baking is a process, and it's exact as well. So you want those measurements to be as perfect, as close to perfect as you can get them. But do not eyeball them, and do not use heaping cups or tablespoons of anything. Make sure you measure. It's an exact science, trust me, it is. Alright, so all of the eggs in. It's going to start getting really fluffy and light. Alright, that's good. Okay, that's done. So we're going to move on. Now, as far as the baking powder, I normally sift the baking powder when I'm sifting the flour. So I'll do it in together. But this time I forgot. So I'm going to take the 2 teaspoons of baking powder and I'm just going to put it over in the flour. Alright. You want to make sure, that's what I meant by exact measurement. So you want to make sure you flatten that out on the top. And then you've got exactly 1 teaspoon full at a time. All right, vanilla extract. Now, I like a good amount of vanilla extract. I do. All right, 2 teaspoons. If you want to splash a little more in there, that's perfectly fine. Because that's what I normally do anyway. Put a little extra, so. I'm going to advise you that you use pure vanilla extract. But if you don't have it and the only thing you have is vanilla flavoring, by all means, do vanilla flavoring. All right, so I'm going to put a little extra butter flavoring. Yeah, we've got sticks of butter right there, but I like to do extra, so I usually will get some imitation butter flavoring and put it in there. All right, so 2 teaspoons of that. So that'll give us a nice buttery flavor there. I just want to get this mixed up really well. I'm going to list the ingredients and the measurements in the description box down below. But if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, hit that like and that bell for notifications so you'll be one of the first ones to know when I put a new video up. Now we're going to add the flour and the milk in. Now we're going to add this 3 times. So we're going to take 1/3 of the flour. So we're going to dump 1/3 of the flour in there. Then you're going to do 1/3 of the milk. Then you're going to do 1/3 of the flour again and then the milk. So we're going to alternate and do that until we've used it all. But when you're making a pound cake, it's a cake box mix. I'll tell you, everything goes in a bowl. That's good. When you're making it from scratch, though, you need to do it this way. You're going to get a better cake, trust me. And the other thing I forgot to mention is you do want to make sure that all of your ingredients, your butter, your milk, your eggs, they're all at room temperature. You're going to get a much better cake if they're at room temperature. Okay, so you want to mix this all in very well. You don't want to overmix your cake. So as soon as everything is mixed in well and you've got a smooth cake batter, stop. Be sure to keep a close eye on what you're doing. Make sure that you're scraping down the side of the bowl, so once you get this mixed well with the mixer, you want to take a rubber spatula, a spoon or something, and you want to make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl, but not only the sides, you want to do the bottom. Now this is a very dense batter, so it's thicker than the normal ones. If you do like a box cake mix, you're going to get, really thinner, soupy batter. This one is really thick, but that's why pound cakes have the texture that they have. So they have more of a dense texture than a normal cake, so it's heavier too. So you'll pick it up, believe me, you'll know. All right, good cakes though. All right, so last of the flours going in, you want to make sure you don't have any of the dry mixture left. So you don't want to be pouring it into your cake pan and suddenly you see balls of flour or any of that, the dry ingredients. But anyway, I'm using a bundt pan, so most of the time we do pound cakes, that's what we use. But if you don't have a bundt pan, use a regular pan. You have to use what you have, right? Your kitchen, your rules. Exactly. All right, if you haven't hit that like, that subscribe, do hit that right now. And hit that bell for notifications so you will be one of the first ones to know when I put a new video up. And I got some good stuff coming up. Yes, I do. All right, so this Neapolitan pound cake. I'll tell you something. Usually when we say Neapolitan, we think strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, right? But most of the time we had Neapolitan ice cream. If you notice, as far as me, strawberry was always the flavor that was left. Now, strawberry cake is good. But here's what I'm going to tell you with this Neapolitan cake. If you want to change up the flavors in it, you want to do like a lemon, a chocolate, and a vanilla, you could do that. You could do, well, the sky's the limit. So you figure out 3 flavors you like, and that's your Neapolitan pound cake. So think about it. Yep, you'll do something different for sure. All right, mix well, and we're going to move on. We're up to the good part now. I've scraped it down. I've given this a little stir. And it's time to put it in the pan. Now, there are a number of ways you can do this. So you can layer your Neapolitan. You can get 3 bowls, and you can mix it up, and then you can dollop here and there. So you're going to do this the way you want to do it. So it can come out to any design when you cut it. So you've got to figure out yourself what you want to do. Everybody's going to do it a little bit different. I'm a chocolate lover, so you're going to see where I put more of the chocolate, on the top, because, well, it is what it is. All right, so we're going to spray our bundt pan very nicely, your cake pan, with some Baker's Joy or some non-stick spray. So you want to get the one with the flour in it already. Trust me. Golly, it's so easy, and it makes everything easier. Like, oh man, I remember I was putting that butter and that flour on pans, and it just takes so long to do that, and you can just easily spray it and just spray every part, every crack and crevice with it. All right, so we're gonna get the vanilla, or rather the butter part of the cake put in. All right, because it's going to be more of a yellowish color. And the reason why, I'll tell you why. We put the egg yolks in it. So the egg yolks are always going to turn your cake a little yellow. So to get perfectly white cake, you've always got to only use egg whites. And personally, for me, I don't like to only use egg whites in my cake. So I'm always going to get that yellowish tinge, if you will. All right, so I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that spread out. But remember, if that's not what you want to do and you want to dollop yours or something like that, you can do yours just a little bit different. All right, so what we're going to do right now is I'm spreading this batter out. We're going to we're going to split this batter up into the 2 bowls, this one and another one. And so we're going to put the flavor into it now. So now when it comes down to the strawberry, let me explain something. If you're going to use a strawberry extract, because we're going to flavor this ourselves from scratch. So if you want to use strawberry extract, then you're going to have to use a red food coloring, because you're going to dye your cake a pink. And you can dye it as pink as you like, light pink, baby pink. You can do it really, really dark pink. So that pink is going to be up to you. Big deal. Not for some, but for others, absolutely, it's going to make a difference. So that's why I'm explaining it. And if you want to use 3 boxes of cake mix, I don't knock cake mix. I like it. I use it. You've seen it on my channel, so you know darn well I will use cake mix. So you want to make things a little bit easier, you can. I just like to do things from scratch sometimes. But if you've never made a cake from scratch, try it. It's a little bit easier than you think. All right, so we're splitting these up. So I got like, all right, I put 2 cups in there. So like, it looks like 2 1/3, something like that. Well, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the batter because I'm trying to see if I have it sort of even. But as I said earlier, I'm more biased towards the chocolate. So I'm going to have a little bit more of the chocolate in there for myself. That's just how it's going to be. All right, so this is a strawberry emulsion. There is a difference in emulsion and extract. So I got this off Amazon. So you got to remember that emulsion is thick. It's going to give you the flavor and it's going to give you the color. So 5 teaspoons of strawberry emulsion. But as I said before, let me re-explain it. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but for the ones who did not hear it, if you're using extract, you're going to put extract in here and some food coloring. All right, so if you put strawberry flavoring, then you're going to use food coloring as well. So extract, flavoring, you're going to do the same thing. I prefer emulsion. If you have not tried emulsions, please try lemon, pineapple. I'm telling you, the flavor is intense. It's so good. And so with this strawberry one, you can see that we get the color with the flavor. So we get a deep, great strawberry flavor, but we get a beautiful color as well. So that's what I like. I don't have to do separate flavoring and coloring. That's just me, but it's coming into the holiday season, so I'm going to recommend to you. Emulsions do cost a little bit more money, but if you're the baker for the holidays or whatever, put forth that effort and do it early. Do it now. You can order it now so you can already have it on hand. So you don't have to wait up to the holiday seasons until you get what you need. You can start now, because that's what I do. I start early. All right, so you want to make sure everything at the bottom, you want to scrape that bottom really well. You want to make sure. But even though, because it's a Neapolitan cake, so even if you didn't, and then you got a few, white streaks in there or whatever, the world would never know. Because of the fact that it's 3 colors anyway. So if you're just doing a strawberry cake, then of course you're going to check to make sure you have no plain icing or no just the butter frost. I'm saying, what is wrong with me today? I'm really tongue-tied. You don't have any of the butter, the batter left. So you just want to be certain you've got it all. So that's why for people who haven't baked from scratch, I have to demonstrate. So those of you that have before, okay, bear with me, as we have to teach the beginners, right? Each one teach one. All right. So it's got raw egg in it, so they always say don't taste, but I do anyway. I taste mine before I put it in the oven or whatever, because I would really hate to put it in, get it out, and it doesn't have enough flavor in it, or either it's not what I'm looking for. So no, I'm going to take some on my finger and taste it. I always do. So even if I do it off camera, because I wouldn't want anybody to say that I recommended that they taste raw eggs and get sick. I don't. I said I do it, and I do. And I haven't gotten sick yet, so either I got a cast iron stomach or heck. Yeah, my belly's on the countertop. Oh, I don't have my waist trainer on today, but some days I just don't. I can put it all around, but you're just going to put that strawberry on one side. You can take a knife and swirl it down into the vanilla part. So you can play around with this Neapolitan. You really can. You can make a beautiful mosaic design of some sort. So it just depends on what you're looking for, how you feel. And mess around with this. All right, we're going to move on to the chocolate. All right, on to the chocolate. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons. So I want to hold that up there because we put teaspoons of emulsion. But now we're dealing with cocoa powder. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of Hershey's cocoa powder. You don't need to add anything else. You don't need to add any more sugar. You don't need to add anything else. Just the cocoa powder. And it's going to do it for us. Alright, so mix well. Scrape around the bottom of the bowl. Just get this mix till you get a beautiful, beautiful chocolate color. Alright, so as far as the frosting on here, if you want to, you can do a frosting or an icing. So you can do a regular white icing. You can do a chocolate. You can do any color you want to do. So I ended up doing a strawberry, which I did off camera. But if you watch my video with the strawberry pound cake, then you can see exactly how to make that strawberry icing that I did put on the outside of here. But sky's the limit with that too. You can do whatever you want to do. Any color you want to use. You're just going to cut into the cake, and it's just going to be a pretty Neapolitan cake. So have at it. Because you can always make your icing where it matches one of the flavors of the cake. But if not, then you can do a plain icing and then just color it. So you can color it chocolate, color it strawberry. You can color it yellow if you want to. And just keep the plain sugar icing with no flavor in it. But obviously you can use some emulsion or some extract and turn that icing the flavor or the color that you like. So once again, it depends on how you feel in the kitchen, but there are literally probably hundreds of variations, if not thousands, with this cake. So that means whatever you dream or think of, do it. All right, still mixing, still mixing. Now, I'm going to tell you this again because I baked it. I did not come back to cut into it. I'm just going to show a picture of it. So this is going to bake on 350, and it's going to bake starting out for an hour. But if you insert your toothpick in there and it is not clean, you're going to put it back in for 10 more minutes. After 10 minutes, you're going to insert your toothpick again. If it doesn't come out clean, you're going to put it in for about 5 more minutes. After that, it should be done. And if not, then you're going to keep putting it back in for 5-minute increments until your cake is done. Because what you want to make sure is you don't burn it or it's not too brown. And especially with these bundt pans because they hold heat. And so your cake, it'll keep getting brown once you get it out of the oven too, and your pan is still hot even though you have it on a cooling rack or you have it on your stove or wherever you may have it. So you want to make sure you cool it for at least 15 minutes, and then you want to make sure after 15 minutes, the cake pan will probably be warm, but after 15 minutes, you want to get this cake out because you don't want it to stick. You want it to release easily. And if you did everything right and you sprayed the pan and you do that, you get it out within that 15 minutes, your cake should easily release from the pan. All right, okay, so chocolate on the top for me. Now, if you want to take a knife or something, a butter knife, now what you will do is you'll take that knife and you'll stick it down in this batter, and then you'll move the knife around and you will just swirl it. Don't mix it, but if you carefully move it around, you can swirl this, and that's what you'll get when you cut your cake, is you'll just get a swirl effect with your colors. So you can layer it. You can have something on the bottom, middle, top. You can put dollops all around so that you end up with a mosaic looking cake. So you can put a dollop here, next color, next color, next color. It works. So, hey, you can become a real Picasso with this cake, a real artist, baby. Turn this thing into anything you want to turn it into. So again, I am repeating, 350 for 1 hour, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Tops, and it should be ready. After that, take it out. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, great cake. Try it. It's a pound cake, but something different. Neapolitan. So check it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put mine in the oven, but I'm going to show you what it looked like once it came out and I cut it. And after, I put some icing on the top, strawberry. Y'all better go make this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out that Neapolitan pound cake. See y'all next time. For more great recipes, tips, and ideas, check out some of my other videos.